This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Welcome to the show. Today, we are going to be visiting with Amy Gaston. It's good to have her back on the show. She's a respected leader in Central Texas in the business community, recently stepped into an exciting new position with her company. And I want to talk about that. Amy's not only, though, known for her professional accomplishments, but also her passion for helping others grow as leaders as well. Recently, she shared her insights with the Greater Waco Chamber Leading Waco Women Conference, their springtime conference, and I was able to attend your breakout session, accessing your opportunities. I had it in my head, it was getting your seat at the table. I don't know where I got that.
I think it's the same concept,
but
probably.
It's the same kind of, and it resonated so much with women who are seeking to advance their careers and strengthen their leadership skills and confidently pursue new opportunities, and you're just a poster child for all this.
Well, that's very, very gracious of you. I've been really fortunate to have some great opportunities, but I'm so glad to be here, Anne.
Well, it is good. Well, first of all, when you were here before, we were talking about OhmBody, and I want to talk about that, just let people know about this again, because to me, it is such a groundbreaking innovation for women.
Yes.
Who suffer from menstrual issues.
Yes. Yeah. So OhmBody uses a technology we call transcutaneous auricular neurostimulation, just a fancy way of saying we're going to target the branches of two nerves around your ear, and we're going to do that over the skin. But this technology has the ability to really balance your nervous system so that your body experiences, specifically for menstruation, a more balanced state. It reduces pain signals, inflammation, cramping, mood swings, anxiety. And then on the other side, able to target the splenic nerve through your vagus nerve in order to help your platelets perform better. So platelets help you clot. And in this case, when you're shedding your uterine wall, those platelets show up to ensure you don't bleed out, right? But some of our bodies do that really efficiently. And so we bleed within the normal realm of what menstrual blood loss should look like. And some women's bodies just don't do that efficiently for whatever reason. It might be for a myriad of conditions, but for those where we're able to affect platelets in such a way that help them clot more effectively, we're able to reduce heavy menstrual bleeding, which 1 in 3 women in the United States suffer from. And I think as we spoke before, most women don't know that. And so it's a really exciting time. It's non-hormonal, non-invasive, drug-free, and in a space where, there's a lot of pharma and a lot of good pharma. Pharma isn't always an option for every woman.
Yeah, right. Just take two Midol is not necessary.
Yeah. Yes. I
mean, that's why this is so revolutionary.
Yeah. It's really
I'm trying to think of how long ago it was you were on the show, but how has it been going since then? Letting people know about this.
Yeah.
And Tess, you said you were going to try to get it in with some. Maybe sports teams, women's professional, and not professional, but collegiate.
Yeah.
Teams.
So we're still down that pathway, which is really exciting. We've had some really interesting conversations, as of late, where sort of this idea of elite performance athletes has been really, really strong for us, and so we're excited about that pathway forward. It continues to build. I think what's interesting about innovative technology in a space like menstruation or women's health is, women are skeptical, as they should be, right? They're going to research.
Is this snake oil?
Yeah. They're going to really research it out, and we really welcome that. What we're most excited about right now is our parent company, Spark Biomedical, is currently running a pivotal study called Luna, where we are doing a study with 80 women. So half will be adults over the age of 21, and then the other half are adolescents, so girls 14 to 21, where we're studying women and girls with heavy menstrual bleeding. So they have to do 2 months without our treatment. They have to score a certain amount on the PBAC score. And then we'll do a trial where they use the device for 3 months. And so we're going to see what kind of results come out of that. Yeah. That will be used then to go after an FDA indication to be for heavy menstrual bleeding for over the counter, which is really exciting. And so for us right now, we operate as a wellness device. And, there's some limitations in marketing and what we can say, but at the end of the day, that FDA indication, I think, just gives us another level of trust with the everyday consumer. And so we're really excited about that, mostly because for us, we've done 2 studies so far. We did one study with 1 month of treatment and application and got great results. And then our second study had 2 months of consecutive treatment. And what we saw was month over month improvement, even from baseline. And so now that we're doing 3 consecutive months, we're really excited to see. And this will be so there's some differences between like a pilot study, which is really small numbers, and then a pivotal study where you have what's called a double blind approach, meaning some of the women will receive a device that works and some will receive a device that's not. It's called the sham group. And it's really to make sure we're not getting a placebo effect on what that looks like. And so really excited to see what that results will be. And we're hoping to conclude that by the end of the year.
That is going to be amazing data.
Huge for us. Yeah,
to use. But you personally with the company, tell me you received a pretty major promotion.
Yeah, in January, the board was really gracious and we're looking for just sort of the signaling of OhmBody's sort of growth for 2026. And we're really gracious to appoint me as president. So I own operations from top to bottom for OhmBody as a brand and currently. And so we're really excited. We did, our parent company did just hire a new CEO as well. And so really excited. Female who's just amazing, and I'm really excited for her to be in that seat for me to learn and grow. But yeah, it's my first sort of big executive job
in the C-suite.
And it's a very it's funny because I tell people this a lot. If you'd asked me 15 years ago, where would you be sitting? Corporate America was not it. I was coaching at the time and wanted to be in college athletics. And now I can't imagine life not in it. And so there's no telling how long I'll stay in this space or women's health or what I'll do. But I think there's something really fulfilling that I didn't know I needed in the corporate space. This idea of leading incredible people, telling the story of an incredible product, and then just being a part of a company that I think is going to be pretty revolutionary has been really interesting. Now, the one seat is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of tough questions and a lot of expectations, but I don't know. I feel like when you're built for something like that, it sort of just becomes inherently who you are.
It's got to be exciting, though.
It's thrilling.
I mean, every day you're excited to go to work, I would think.
Yeah, I am actually. And people ask me, what do you do day to day? I'm like, it's hard to describe because there's just so many things that I do day to day and people needing me. And, I jump from a partnership conversation to a C-suite level discussion about future tenets of what we're doing to board members calling to team members needing and cross-functional, teams within the company, needing decisions. And so, yeah, it's an interesting space, but I really, at the core of who I am, I'm a problem solver. And so, when you're running a division of a startup, there's a lot of problem solving that needs to take place.
I was going to say, how much time are you putting out fires?
Yes, lots of firefighting, especially in the beginning. Those first 90 days when I took over, we had some internal things that just needed to be rectified and some foundational things that needed to be worked on. And so it's really interesting to have been a part of the team, but then, when you're one seat up or the one seat, you're suddenly privy to a lot more things that have been happening and things that needed. And so I'm really proud of my team for the work they did in the first 90 days to sort of shore up some things that felt a little loose. Our CAC spending was a little high. And so we brought that down. Cost of acquisition, how much customers cost for us to, how much are we spending on marketing in order for them to purchase an item? And so we were able to rectify that. And they built a whole new website in 3 weeks, which was just,
wow,
mind-blowing. And then when it's an e-commerce site, it gets even more complicated. And so I'm just really proud of that work. And, I think that a leader is only as good as the team she built under her. And I just feel really fortunate to be able to have that.
Yeah. How many people do you have working?
Yeah. So OhmBody specifically, it's myself and 3 women. It was 4. And one of my I was so sad to lose her, but she had an incredible opportunity out in San Francisco that she couldn't pass up. And so currently 3, but the company as a whole has 21 employees. Spark Biomedical does. So it's not a big company, but we're very heavily, clinical work. I think we've got 8 people in the clinical space, and then engineering. They do a ton of work and are working on the next version, the next tech, and whatever it looks like.
Constantly doing research and development.
Constantly. It's an evolution, right? And so, and then you've got competitors that are encroaching on your market. So you've got to sort of stay ahead of the curve and see where it's kind of going. And so I get to be a part of that strategy, which is really exciting.
Exciting. I was wondering what kind of things are on the horizon.
Yeah.
That you can talk about.
Right. I think, our consumers can look for obviously continued research, which is really exciting. So we just talked about Luna.
Right. To know just how effective OhmBody is.
Yeah. These FDA indications. And then other indications, we're really interested in the impact of our technology in stress management. We're doing a study with first responders right now where they come off their shift and then they wear our device for 2 hours in order to sleep and help them recover faster. There's this really sad statistic for first responders. So think police officers, firefighters, EMT, where after they retire, if they've had a long career and they've been a career first responder, when they come off, within 5 to 7 years, they'll develop a chronic illness, die of a heart attack, or die of suicide at alarming rates. And a lot of that is because it's understood that it's almost like a PTSD response. They've lived in such a fight or flight state, right? Because when you're an emergency first responder, you're constantly on edge and ready to respond, right? And that's the beauty of what they do. And we're so thankful for our first responders and what they do. Military, can fall into that as well. So this idea is that when your body lives in a chronic state of fight or flight, your cortisol levels are higher. That's an increased rate of cardiovascular disease and chronic illness and mentally and the anxiety. And so this idea of can our technology actually help mitigate the hyper fight or flight that they're living in, right? So they've been on shift this whole time, and what's going to actually bring them back down to level and bring their parasympathetic tone up. So we're doing this study, and the early results are really phenomenal. And so, you can take that and extrapolate that and put that into women's health, right? Not just high performers in terms of CEOs and elite athletes, but just a mom, right? She's living in constant fight or flight.
That's for sure.
You've got littles at home, you're on your period, you're not on your period, but there's just stress, right? And I think, we live in a time when women especially are more stressed than ever, right? There's this expectation to perform and to be perfect and to, carry all these things. They talk about the mental load of a woman, right? Because it's constant. I mean, I don't even have kids, and my mind is constantly solving for problems that I anticipate coming down the road. So we're really excited, that our body of research, I think, will inform holistically the applications that we can put across the board. So really excited for that. And then, as technology advances, form factors. So what does it look like? How do you wear it? Where is it set? So those kinds of things are really exciting and coming down the pipeline.
And this, again, is the same kind of...
Same technology.
Where you're stimulating nerves. And
yes, the vagal and trigeminal nerves.
To create a response within the body that's not created by pharmaceuticals.
That's right. Yeah. And really it's things that your body already naturally does.
Right. And so just kind of helping it along.
Yeah, we're just optimizing the nerves that are already there and helping your nervous system do it really well. So I'm really excited again about more about what's the indications are to come and the applications. We just started a study at TCU on perimenopausal women, and really excited about that. And the list of perimenopausal symptoms is 5 miles long, and every woman experiences it a little differently.
We've done whole episodes about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not something that really moms are real good about communicating to their adult daughters.
No, that's right.
Isn't what you should expect.
That's right.
When you hit that.
That's right.
And then they're like, I'm going crazy. I think I'm losing my mind.
I think I'm actually losing my mind. I read an article last week. It was really sad. An executive in her 40s recently took her life because she was not performing at work because she literally couldn't focus and couldn't figure out why. She'd been to multiple doctors. She thought she was getting crazy. She thought she was going crazy, and she couldn't see a light at the end of it to say, her value wasn't who she was on the job. And I very much live in that because I don't have kids, and who I am at work is very much a part of me and my legacy. And she found herself in a place that she couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so when we hear stories like that as a company and as a team, we're even more committed to saying, no, we have to find solutions that make sense, and we have to educate women on what they're experiencing. And so this study out of TCU, we're doing with a researcher named Dr. Sarah Hill, and she's one of our health expert advisors. And it's just so much more than just a product with a solution. There are real stories and real women, and there's real lives being impacted, by this idea. For a long time, men joked, well, my, middle age, your wife just goes crazy. And I'm like, well, there's a hormonal reason that happens. And what's that balance look like? And so I think for me, stories like that drive our everyday reasons for existing as a company.
Oh, that has got to be so rewarding for you to be a part of something that is such cutting edge technology and can have such a profound benefit.
Yeah, we're really
to
excited.
Women and their husbands.
And across the board, right? We while elite female athletes is certainly a focus of OhmBody, right. There's a real need for male female athletes and their recovery, and what does that look like? And so I just think, this idea, I'm humbled every day that I get to be a part of a team that's making something that matters. And I think very few of us get a chance to do something like that.
So much more I want to talk to you about, Amy, about your role in mentoring women and your breakout session that I got to be a part of in a few months ago. But I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Bumblebee Blinds. You can enhance your space with Bumblebee Blinds, serving Waco and Temple. They offer a wide range of custom window treatments. A trusted certification installation team will make sure your job is done right, offering a warranty with every purchase. Call Kayla today for your free consultation. That's 254-844-7939. Again, 254-844-7939. Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
Waco celebrates America's 250th anniversary party on July 3rd. Join us for live music all night, amazing food, drinks, spirits, vendors, and incredible art. Grab your lawn chair, bring your friends, and bring your holiday appetite. This patriotic celebration is where the party starts. Fun, flavor, music, and festival vibes all in one place. Don't miss this. We'll see you at the Art Center on July 3rd. Go to artcenterwaco.org and then events.
We're celebrating the Declaration of Deals at Allen Samuels in Waco. Right now, get $13,000 off a new Ram 1500 Lone Star, plus 2.9% for 72 months. Cash in on $13,000 off a new Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab, or choose 0% for 36 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Feel secure with America's best full-size truck powertrain 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Allen Samuels.
Come by.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues or those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. They said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
What is Spark?
I hate to call this late again. I hope you've got some time. 'Cause no matter what I do, I can't get you off my mind. I'm not trying to upset you, but I want you to know I'm finding out real fast that I'm no good alone. 'Cause 'cause your eyes haunt me, whether I'm awake or asleep, and I can't catch my breath, can't control my heartbeat. You know you make my world stand still, where I can't pass the time, no matter what I do. I can't get you off my mind. Whether I'm awake or asleep, and I can't catch my breath, I can't control my heartbeat. No, make my world stand still, where I can't pass the time, no matter what I do. I can't get you off my mind. Oh, no matter what I do, I can't get you off my mind.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Alan Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. And so I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
And we're back with Amy Gaston. You know, I mentioned Bumblebee Blinds, and Kayla is the owner of her business, you know, and it's so fun to come in contact with women who are really asserting themselves and stepping out in faith a lot of times, you know, doing jobs and a lot of things that maybe traditionally have been male positions and so forth. So when you were first asked to be a presenter at the Leading Waco Women spring conference that we recently had, what were your thoughts? Because what they pitched to you was to, you know, finding your seat at the table, you know, accessing opportunity. You've done that beautifully, shall I say?
Thank you.
Yeah. Gold star goes
to you
for
thank
this.
you. Yeah, I think one, I'm so humbled. Rachel is incredible out there.
Yeah, Rachel Ligon.
Yeah, she's great, and had reached out. We've our circles have kind of crossed as I've lived in Waco and done a few things, especially with the chamber. And I mentor in the LEAD program, so students from Midway High usually. And when she approached me about it, I was like, "Are you sure?" Like, I'm not. There were so many great speakers at that event, and I'm always a little like, I don't know, battle with a little imposter syndrome of like, I don't know if that's me.
Well, but you kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very real thing.
It's a very real thing. I think, I think it's so valuable. It's that idea of like, if she can see it, she can be it, right? This idea. And so I think it's really important for those of us who have experienced some success, who have been able to sort of break through in areas, to be able to turn around and share that story, because I think it's really inspiring for people. I think, while my story may not fit every woman in that room, my hope is that something about my story resonates with a woman to say, wait, I also have that in me. I just didn't look at it that way, or I didn't see it that way. And so, I think I've always been really fortunate to have people in my life who, are willing to help me see what's in front of me, but then also open my eyes just a little further to understand deeper what I might not be able to see past my own nose, for lack of a better term. So yeah, it was really important to me to feel, like one, I always want to approach my success very humbly, because I know that it doesn't exist because of me. Like I'm very,
You're blessed.
I'm very blessed. And I think I spoke about this, in the room of like, I have been really fortunate to have people around me who talk about me when I'm not in the room, and who advocate for me when I'm not in the room. And, I know that that's a privilege that some don't ever have the opportunity to do. I think mostly because they don't know how to go find that opportunity. I think they don't know who should you be putting in your corner, who should you be seeking out. I get this question a lot, because I'm very fortunate. I have some of the most incredible mentors who have quite literally moved mountains for me. Really? And I'm just so fortunate. And I was reminded recently with our new CEO, people ask me, how do you choose a mentor, Amy? And my biggest advice is find people who do hard things well and go follow them. That's for me, because I want to do hard things well. That's really valuable to me. I said I was a problem solver. I always joke that if there is a crisis, you want me in the room and you want me making decisions. I have this really weird ability to like see the end goal and work backwards from that. Within about 3 or 4 steps, I can say, yes, that's going to work, or you're in the wrong path.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain works that way, but it really does.
That's amazing.
Puzzle pieces it together. And when I realized that about myself, I was like, oh, well then ultimately, what does that mean? Oh, that ultimately means I am a problem solver. And so I want to problem solve. I think there's a right way to problem solve and there's a wrong way to problem solve. And I've just been really fortunate to see people in my life who have taken really, really hard situations and done them in ways that I just think, wow, that was incredible. And recently, our new CEO came into a situation that was just challenging. There's some internal politics at, Spark, as there always are with startups, and watching her do that, she's been with the company maybe 4 weeks, and, we had an executive session last week as a team in Dallas and met for a few days. And I just sat back and watched her ask some really hard questions and try to get to the bottom of, some things as she's gathering and sort of drinking from a water fountain, or really a water hose, and not a water fountain, more like a fire hose. And she, and I watched her do something that was really, really challenging, and she could have really burned some bridges. And And she didn't. And, and I remember talking to my best friend and telling him, like, because he was like, wow, you've like really jumped on board with this new CEO. That's so fast. And I was like, that was the moment I sat in a session and thought, yeah, okay, that I can follow.
Good judgment there.
Yeah, that I can watch her be tough and put people's feet to the fire, but do it with a lot of grace and a lot of empathy. I am not the most empathetic person on the planet, and I have had to learn that. And I have been really fortunate to have leaders in my life who give me a lot of grace when I don't have empathy, and who I just expect people to do their jobs at the end of the day. Yeah. I just at the core, because I'm going to do that. But I've really had to learn that can look different for every single person. Mm-hmm. And I would not have learned that had I not had incredible mentors to do that. So for me, it's just about, again, finding people who do that really well, but then attach them. I mean, I'm sure my mentors were like, yeah, she just showed up and didn't go away. Like, I don't know. But I'm so privileged because of what I've put into those relationships that has reciprocally given me people who, like I said, who advocate for me when I'm not in a room, who talk well about me. When there's an opportunity, I'm the first name that comes to their brain. And I think there's a way to do that regardless of what ultimately you want to do. If you want to be a great teacher, or if you want to be an administrator of some sort, or if you want to own your own business, or you want to, play with kids all day, like whatever that is, there are people around you who are in those spaces who can open doors for you. They just have to know that that's a door you want opened. And so I think that's really important.
Another aspect of that day was to hear how women need to understand their value to the company.
Yeah.
When it comes to compensation.
Yeah. I think, I think we were talking about this, one, I think it's really important to do the job you've been given really well.
Yes.
Nobody's giving you more if you're always seeking for the next, but you're not actually taking care of business in this moment. Nobody's giving you more. I think that's biblical too, right? Like, the Lord's not going to give you more if you're not going to like steward what you've got really well.
Right.
And so I think that's always my first is, are you doing your current job well? When women are like, I deserve a promotion, or how do I get a promotion, or how do I ask for more money, or a new blah, 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 whatever, fill in the blank. Mm-hmm. My first question is, well, how are you doing your current job? How are you doing your current job? We talk a lot about, how are you approaching problem solving? Are you the employee who only comes with problems with no solutions? Or are you a problem solver, or an employee who says, hey, here's the issue. Here's how I think we might be able to fix it. Even if you're wrong, even if it's not the best way. I think what that signals to management is, oh, we have someone who's invested.
Exactly. You're thinking about things.
Yeah. We're invested in the future state and the betterment of the company they're in, even if it's outside their paid role of what they're paid to do. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's really important, to signal, to your point, this like worth to the company. Companies want more than just a task doer and someone just to take a check. They want people who are bettering what's around them. And so if you can find a way to do that, even in small ways, I think that's really important. I think the other thing we talked about was, who is getting promoted around you? Mm-hmm. Who is getting raises around you, and why are they doing that? And to be really honest with yourself, to say, okay, maybe I have rose-colored glasses when it comes to my own performance and what I'm doing, right? Having someone who can honestly look at you and tell you the hard things that you don't want to know.
Yeah, tell me what I need to do.
Yeah, tell me
get
what
better.
That's right. And so, all of those things. And then I think I said this in the room, at the end of the day, if you've done all those things and you've been really honest, you can really be truthful about, listen, I've done my work. I come with problem-solving solutions. I have taken an honest look at my own assessment. I've, evaluated why other people are getting raises and not me, and compared that, and honestly done that. And if you still don't think there's upward trajectory, I think my response in the room was leave, leave the place, find something else. Yeah. Find something else. I think, and I'll say this, some women don't want to grow, and that's okay too.
Right.
Like, I think if you're a woman who's like, hey, I'm perfectly content being where I am. I have a good friend who's like, I like what I do.
Yeah, well,
and I love that. I'm like, that's so great. But if you really want to advance, and I will say, I've left a company for this, where I really, obviously I'm a progressor, and not only did I do my job really well, but I actually did the job that I was not allowed to apply for, for a time period, because there was a vacant hole. And when it came time to fill it, I was not considered for that, regardless of the fact that I had
You'd been doing it?
Been doing it, met KPIs, did the things with a counterpart for sure, but neither one of us were considered for that role. And it was a moment for me to look around and go, well, then what am I doing here? It took me about 3 months to sort of settle my own affairs and figure out how to exit, but I exited. And I didn't have a job. I didn't leave to a job. I exited to a sabbatical, what I've now coined my sabbatical, for 7 months, because I thought, well, if there's truly no forward motion here, I am just banging my head up against a wall over and over.
You're going to be frustrated and not happy.
Bitter, resentful. And I'm grateful that I left when I did, because I do think that I was able to avoid a lot of that bitterness and resentment in a way that, I've watched other people stay in the company longer or, have different pathways to exit. And they're still dealing with that bitterness and resentment. And I'm really grateful that that's not something I did. But again, I made those decisions because I had mentors who said, Amy, if they're not going to give you a chance to move up, then what are you doing?
Right.
Let's get out. And, and that's scary. And I recognize, and I say this too, I recognize that I was privileged to be able to leave.
Right.
We had finances that made sense. We could do that. We don't have kids. I'm not saving for a wedding or a college fund. It's just my husband and I. And so I recognize, and for me to then not work for 7 months was also a privilege. That, I traveled, I read, I lost some weight, I got fit, I picked up tennis. Those are things that not everyone
has
the opportunity to. But I do think that everyone has the opportunity to look for what's better for them. And that just takes a little bit of grace for yourself and a little courage to do that.
Why do you think, especially women, are more hesitant to pursue opportunities?
Yeah, I think what's interesting, there's a statistic that says that when a man and a woman look at the same job description, they can have the same qualifications. A man looks at it and says, oh, I have 1 of the 10. Yep, I'll apply for that job. And a woman says, oh, I have all but 1. Ooh, I'm probably not qualified for that job. And that's true across the board.
Yeah.
We are, I heard a quote from, I'm trying to remember who it was. I can't remember now. And so if you find it, put it in Ann's comments. But where it says, girls are taught to be perfect. Boys are taught to be brave. So, if you grew up in a home with traditional values and traditional male-female kind of gender roles, we're taught to be pretty. We're told that we're pretty very early on. Gosh, you're just so pretty. Look at your pretty dress. We're taught to have our hair a certain way and makeup and whatever. We're very rarely as girls taught to be brave. And this is where I find value in sport. Girls who play sports they have to be brave. You have to be okay with failing. You have to be able to watch it all fall apart and get up and play the next point.
And sometimes they're doing it on their period.
Yeah, sometimes they're doing it on their period. That's right. And we're set out on a mission to help with that.
That's right.
But, it's this idea that if you don't play sports or if you're not in a world that teaches you to be brave, teaches you to risk, then applying for the next job is hard. Right. Asking for more money is hard. And it's scary because what skills have you developed to do that, right? I'm so thankful for my parents. They're not college degree holders, but have just always been just uniquely able to provide space for me to grow and learn. My dad has always told me it doesn't matter that you're a girl, go out and get whatever you want.
You can do whatever.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. But they also in that process taught me that I was responsible for that growth. I had a moment where I thought I was going to play college basketball, and I was a sophomore. I played on the JV as a freshman and, was pretty good. We had a new basketball coach come in my sophomore year and, or the summer before my sophomore year. And while I was transitioned to a new position because I was the tallest kid on my team. I went from the shortest to the tallest in a summer. And she was moving me to power forward. And, I remember the conversation we had before that basketball season where she said, Amy, I'm going to let you choose. I could put you on the varsity. You'll never play. You won't play because you've got juniors and seniors ahead of you and you have a lot of development that you need. And all my friends that I'd played with were moving to varsity. So I'm a sophomore. I'm going to be a sophomore. And she said, or you can take this JV jersey and never leave the court and grow and develop. And when you're a junior, you'll start. And she said, but I'm going to let you decide. So I went home and I remember telling my dad this, and he said, well, at the end of the day, is the jersey you're playing more important to you? And I said, well, I want to play. He said, well, I think you have your answer.
There's your answer.
And it wasn't this moment where I have a lot of friends whose parents would have gone up to that school and talked to that coach.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, this is your basketball career. What do you want? How do you want to progress?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you need, and I asked him, will you go with me to talk to her? He said, no, I'm not doing that. This is between you and coach. You guys make that decision and you do that. And I went back to her and said, I want to play. I'll take the JV jersey and I'll play. And listen, that was like really tough as a sophomore when all my best friends were playing on the varsity and I was on the JV still. But true to her word, I never left the court. I developed. And as a junior, I started on the varsity, right?
Yeah,
and so
you had all that playing experience.
I had all that playing experience. And it was this moment where like my dad looked at me and said, someday you're going to have to make these decisions on your own. And someday you're going to have to advocate for yourself in every single room. Mm-hmm. And we will not do that for you. And so, this, again, I go back to this. I've just been so privileged to like have parents who really drove that. Sports taught me things that nothing else in life could have taught me. I have coaches who really held me to these standards and told me I was capable and told me I was able, but also like required excellence of me. And then as I matured and I got into my professional career, I think because I had had such great coaching as a youth, I seek that out in my own life now. Mm-hmm. Like I seek people who can be additive to my experience. And I think that's a really vulnerable place to be too, right? Yeah. Like you have to be willing for someone to look at you and be like, well, I think you're wrong. I think you're not doing this right. Or, hey, you said this and now you're doing this instead. Asking hard questions. I have friends, one in particular who, in this business, we're sort of coming up in our careers together. And this individual asks me questions that nobody else asks me. Why do you think you're not the CEO of a company yet? What is it that you would need to do to be the CEO of a company yet? Why, so it's just these like really thoughtful things. And that individual serves this really unique purpose in my life. Right. Mm-hmm. And then I have mentors who can simultaneously tell me I'm great and that I'm terrible all in the same sentence. And I walk away thinking, oh yeah, I'm so thankful they would say that to me, Yeah. So I think when we as women, all of that, though, is learned behavior. So you ask, like, why women, back to your question, why women have a hard time doing that is because the world doesn't actually encourage women to do that. We're given a very specific role. We're told we're very specifically what our bodies are supposed to do and not do and who we're supposed to be and not be. And I think I want to be a part. So one reason I'm a mentor for LEAD is because I want to raise the next generation of women to be able to understand it's not this like, pie in the sky. You can be anything you want to be. I don't actually believe that because I do think there are limitations, right? I'd love to be the Queen of England, but I'm never going to be that, right? Yeah. But you have the ability to alter your future and you have the ability to affect change in that space. Now, it may not be the change you expect. It may not be the future that you expect because Lord, again, back to this 15 years ago, I would not say that I work in women's health, much less lead an entire division of a company in this. But if you're willing to push, then whatever may come in that, there's real beauty in being able to accept that and that growth.
Well, we just have a few minutes remaining, and I'm so glad you talked about basketball because I get to invite you to watch Amy play with the famous friends at the Friends for Life Granny Basketball.
Yes, I'm very excited about it.
Coming up on July 11th.
Yes.
At MCC, and I could proudly say I recruited her.
You
to
did.
Play on the team. Because we need a ringer so bad.
Well, I don't know if I'm a ringer. I'm
yes,
actually...
you are. You're very tall. You played basketball. I mean, this is what's so fun. But it's going to be an awesome, fun event for the whole community. But yeah, I mean, you're going to have to learn some things because it's 1928 rules.
Yes, one dribble, right?
You can't. One dribble. You can't jump.
Yeah. It's wild.
That's what's going to be hard for somebody, a young athletic person like yourself. But yeah, because you'll probably get a foul or two. They might. But
yes, I'm very excited about it. I'm more excited about the cause and what that looks like.
Friends for Life.
Yes.
This was started a few years ago, and I've been privileged to play on the Famous Friends team. Although I qualify to play on the Granny team.
But we'll keep you on the Famous Friends side.
I said I'm more wanting to be a cheerleader in this. And have wonderful players like you. But yeah, we've always just been blown out of the water by the Granny, those Waco 6 shooters. But then they practice all the time and they play and and they have one really tall lady.
Okay.
If they get the ball to her, she
just puts it in. Okay. And now I'm
give
here.
You, Amy.
Yeah, with my 7-foot wingspan, maybe I can help create like a barrier or something.
I can't wait. It's going to be loads of fun though. But yeah, so you can go to Friends for Life and find out all the information about the Granny basketball game, 2:00, I think.
I think so too.
On the 11th of July. So it's coming right up.
Yeah, it's really, I think we have practices coming up. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
The no jumping is going to to be really interesting.
It's the hardest thing is learning the rules. And I never was a basketball player, so it's all new to me.
Yeah.
So, tennis has always been my thing. But you have taken up tennis too, so tell me about your tennis career.
Yes, my tennis career has really taken off. Last year I played on 1 rec league USTA team. This year I'm on 5. My husband was like, well, that escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in the middle of, both of my 3-0 teams advanced to sectionals. We went to 40 plus sectionals a couple weeks ago in Houston. It was so hot, Ann.
Yeah, I know you can't breathe.
Cannot breathe. It was so hot and humid. We ended up missing the wild card spot by 2 sets lost.
Oh no, really?
It was really frustrating, but I was really proud. And then I'm the 13th man on like a 13-man 3-5 team. They just needed some extra, so that's really fun.
Well, and again, playing up is always going to be a really good thing for you.
Yeah, and then I also play on a mixed doubles team. So my partner,
I loved playing mixed.
Yeah, this is my first year playing mixed. It's a 7-0 team, so I'm a 3-0 and I play with a 4-0 man. He's about 70, but can put a ball on a dime.
And these guys, the 4-0 guys, they know where to put. I'm never worried about getting hit by the ball.
Yeah. I'm not worried about
the guys need to worry about me hitting.
That's fair. Yeah. And my partner is taller than I am. He's probably 6'4". His wingspan is huge. Bill Glover. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah.
And so Bill's my partner. And, it's so funny. We walk on the court and people are like, y'all are giants. I'm like, I know. And Bill just takes care of the baseline. I take the net. It's been really fun. It's such as we've talked about, I live a high stress corporate life.
Oh, it's so.
Yeah. But tennis is this moment for me that just okay, great. It's funny. We were talking about earlier, I had a DEXA scan where you body composition and they were like, oh, your right arm is significantly more developed than your left. And I was like, they're like, oh, we see that. Yeah, we see that in right hand dominant. I was like, oh, I also play tennis. They're like, okay, yeah, that makes
perfect sense. Your right arm is so much stronger.
Yes.
Right-handed. Oh, yeah. Tell them a little bit more about the DEXA, because this is something I had not heard of before.
It's my first one I've done, but a DEXA essentially measures your body composition and your bone density. I'm 41, perimenopausal. Bone density is a big deal, right? Every year, a woman after 40 loses, I think, like 1% of bone mass, and some at higher rates, depending on your propensity to osteoporosis or, just different things. And so very important to lift and keep moving, right? Because the more pressure you can put on your bones every day in lifting and weight resistance or, weighted vests as you walk.
Just moving. Exercises.
Those are things that actually add density to your bones. We usually think about muscle, but it also is this idea of like strengthening your bones. And so for me, I had a full DEXA scan. I'm happy to report that I'm in good standing. My T-score is 1.9, which is well above the 1 that they want. And my body composition puts me in really good percentages for both my women in my age group, but then also 18-year-olds. I compare pretty well. And so what that ultimately means for me is setting a baseline so that every year now I'll take a DEXA scan and have that done in order to then understand, how am I doing? Am I maintaining my bone density and muscle density, or am I seeing some drops, and what's causing those drops? And so as we approach menopause, right, that estrogen drops and suddenly your body isn't producing what it needs to produce in order to stay healthy. And so we talked about this earlier. I lift today. While my husband appreciates that I look nice in a bikini, I really lift so that at 80 I can walk upstairs and play tennis.
You want to play tennis? My goal was 75.
Yes.
I want to still be. I told my trainer I still want to be playing tennis.
That's right.
When I'm 75, and so that's It's a wonderful sport.
It is, and it's about quality of life, right? So I always say this, if the Lord gives me the privilege of living to be 80, 90, I want to be living at 80 and 90.
Right.
I don't want to be an individual who's living with chronic illness and really struggling. And life happens, right? I could get hit by a car tomorrow and be paraplegic. Like there's all kinds of things, but the things I can control and the pieces that I can do, eating nutrient-dense meals and lifting and staying active and engaging in conversation, right? So cognitively, I'm staying sharp. Like those are things that are going to be additive to the longevity and the quality of life that I want to live at that age.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody how they can learn more about OhmBody, first of all, because I want as many people to understand about this technology as they can.
Yeah. The best place to find us is ohmbody.com. So OhmBody.com. You can also follow us on social media. So we're across there, Reddit, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. But ohmbody.com is really great. There's also a lot of information about our science and our research, which I always encourage women to dig into. And then Spark Biomedical is our parent company. And there's another layer of research that's happening there. But I always enjoy conversations. So if you're local to Waco, hit me up and we'll have a coffee and talk about it. But we're really excited about it.
Oh, well, I want to have you just need to come back because I enjoy talking to you. But we may have to do a post-mortem after the Granny basketball.
Yes. I'm excited about it.
All right. Thank you, Amy, so much. Amy Gaston. Stay with us. So much more of the show ahead.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
An online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
It's our declaration of deals, and savings are moving fast at Allen Samuels Jeep in Waco. Get a 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport for just $32,990, or take $10,000 off a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. Or qualified buyers can get 0% APR for 36 months and no payments for 90 days. Don't stand still. Drive today. Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
Waco celebrates America's 250th anniversary party on July 3rd. Join us for live music all night, amazing food, drinks, spirits, vendors, and incredible art. Grab your lawn chair, bring your friends, and bring your holiday appetite. This patriotic celebration is where the party starts. Fun, flavor, music, and festival vibes all in one place. Don't miss this. We'll see you at the Art Center on July 3rd. Go to artcenterwaco.org and then events.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
This is a Rogue Media Network production.